Good morning. It is Erica with Holy Rustic and Redheaded Princess Designs. Happy Wednesday. It has been crazy a couple of weeks around here. We have been very busy. I'm trying to make sure I don't run over any small kittens. Grumpy is here this morning with us. They were sitting in my chair, so I picked them up, and he just wants to hang, so that's fine. I have this month's Wagon Club box here, so we're going to open it up, see what this month's theme is, and then paint it together. So if you come in, say hey, let me know how your week's going. Let's get going. So inside of our Wagon Club box, you are going to get your little inspirational picture that's going to show you what the Wagon Club can look like. It also has your coupon code on it. So all of our club boxes come with a coupon code that is good for 20% off of whatever that box is. So like for the Wagon Club, 20% off any of our wagon decor, a new wagon, the little shelf that you can put your wagon stuff with, any of that on our website. All right, buddy. You need to go that way. Okay. It's like a three-ring circus. Let me grab my wagon over here. So if you're curious what the wagon is, this is our wagon. This is my white wagon. I also have a tan or like a brown looking one. But this is my white wagon. I do have some paper stuff down in here that I just kind of use to help elevate the things that are inside of it. But this is a kit you can buy on our website. We also have a shelf that all of the wagon stuff goes with. You can put it on a little shelf if you want. But here is this month's Wagon Club box. You're going to get your kit, and you're going to get all the paint that you need, a sponge, and a little tube of glue to put everything together. I'm going to set that over to the side. So this month's theme is Halloween. We have not done very much Halloween stuff inside of the club boxes, so we thought we would do some Halloween this month. I know it's not for everybody, but I don't like anything too scary, but a little cute spookiness is fine. Let me get this opened. Each Wagon Club box usually comes with 3 to 4 pieces, and then of course the little sign that hangs on the front of your wagon. Set that to the side. So the club boxes are always a surprise. They always go together. So the Wagon Club and the Tier Tray Club kind of coordinate. So you can set them up together if you'd like, if you want to get both boxes, or you can use just one box as a fun little way to add some thing to your decor each month. So this month we have our little haunted house piece. We have a little mummy. We have a cute little jack-o'-lantern with a witch hat. We have a little block that says October 31st. And then of course we have our little banner that says Happy Halloween. So let's get painting. I'm gonna start with, I may have to use, here's some black. I was thinking I might need to use what's in this kit. I don't really want to do that. We got some white here. Alright. I've got black, I've got white. The other colors will be fine. We've got plenty of those. Alright, so let's start with our black pieces first. So I'm going to paint this. This is the sign that goes on. Did I flip? Is that facing the right way? Looks like it is. I couldn't remember if I turned you around or not. The kittens are, we're in that like wreaking havoc stage, and we're just into everything. So if you hear them in the background, just go with it. That's what we're doing around here. We're just going with it. It's almost time for them to find their new homes, go to their new homes, because they're almost 8 weeks old. I need to calculate. I think there's 5 or 6 weeks old this week, so we're almost there. They're eating solid foods, so you're about ready. All right, so there is that piece. I'm also going to paint our little witch hat black. Last night we did the cute little Highland Cow boo door hangers at Our Lady of Perpetual Hops. They turned out so stinking adorable. Tonight we are painting at, somebody's climbing at my leg. Tonight we will be at 812 Pizza in Georgetown. We are doing the Three Witches. So another fun Halloween painting. I need to get our November calendar posted, but there are just not enough hours in the day, y'all. It is a very busy time of year around here, and I either need to make myself more than one person, or I need to stay up all night, which I'm too old for that. I cannot do that. Thursday night, today's Wednesday, yeah. Thursday night we will be at the Clarksville Parks Department for our cat with the books painting. You want it back up here? Okay. So that's what we're doing Thursday night. And then Friday and Saturday we have community days in Charlestown, so we'll be set up. I've got some cute fall hair clips. I have tons of Christmas ornaments that are hand painted. We have some little take-home kits if you want to do little kits at home. So lots of fun things for you. And they have live music and bands both nights. Of course, your festival foods. And then we have, they're having a drone show on Saturday night. They usually do fireworks. And I don't remember why they couldn't do fireworks this year, but they decided to do a drone show. So that'll be something different and exciting. All right, what else needs to be black? Let's see, this little piece here for our mummy. So I when I do these kits, I like to just kind of pick a color and paint all the things that need to be that color. And then kind of just move around and paint like the next color and then the next color. You could do it however you want. You could paint each individual piece, but this is just kind of what works for me. So that is what I usually do. And you can paint it exactly like the picture. The paint that I am going to send you is going to match what the picture looks like, or you can change it up and do your own thing. It's totally up to you. Excuse me, sir. All right, let's see. We need some, well, let's do the white parts next. So let's get a bigger brush here. Let's do, this is our little block that says October 31st. So let me know, are you decorating for fall? Are you decorating for Halloween? Are you decorating for Christmas? What kind of decorations are you putting up right now? I do a decent amount of fall decor, and then with a few little just Halloween things spread throughout. A lot of times we don't get Halloween stuff out until like the day before Halloween or Halloween night, especially like outside type stuff. And then usually that first week of November, I try to switch everything out to Christmas. And I do that because A, I love Christmas. It's my favorite. B, because if I don't put my Christmas decor up early, it's not going to get done. If you are a creative or someone whose business is busy during the holiday seasons, you completely understand what I'm saying. If I don't get it out, it's not going to get done. So I like to put it up early so that I can enjoy it. Let's Christmas is one of my favorites. And so that's what we do. I don't put up a ton of Halloween type stuff, but I like these. I thought they were cute. And I will leave maybe a few fall things up with the Christmas decor through Thanksgiving, or when Thanksgiving gets here, if we're hosting, which we often do, I will, that kitten just rolled right out of my lap. I tell you, it's like a 3-ring circus around here, y'all. If we host for Thanksgiving, sometimes I'll pull out just a few little fall things for Thanksgiving Day and then put them back up. All right, there's our little mummy. That white's gonna need 2 coats. So let's just set him to this side, and let's go ahead and do this guy here again. So we had 4 paint classes last week. We've got 4 this week. And then next week we are at, where are we next week? We're at Bear City Winery one night. I feel like there's other things on the calendar too, but I don't know what they are off the top of my head. Our faux stained glass class is coming up, which if you haven't seen that, those look so beautiful. And I don't know why I did that. That is it with the Jeffersonville Public Arts Department and the Newco building down there in Jeff. All right, so this little mummy guy has etched lines for his little wraps, his little mummy wraps. So if you're painting this, you can see I did the first coat with the sponge, just really lightly. That's gonna leave those lines. Or you can use a brush. If you do the brush, you just don't want to put very much paint on there, and you want to just be very light with it. Because if you put a whole bunch of paint on here, you're going to fill in those lines, and then it's not going to look like he's got the little wraps on him or whatever. You can always take like a brush and go back over these later too, if you want, or a paint pen, go over the etched lines. But I don't like to do that because it's not always the easiest thing in the world to do. So I just kind of very light coats of paint with like the sponge or the brush. Either way, the sponge works really well and it keeps the paint from being pushed down into those little cracks. All right, this piece is where our haunted house sits. So we want kind of a, you know what, I actually saw my friend Karen the other day did a really pretty teal spooky background. I'm gonna try it. Okay, let's venture off. So I don't remember exactly how she did it, but I'm gonna try this teal. Maybe we'll throw a little white in here, kind of in the middle. And then maybe a little more teal around the edges. I might need a second color of teal. It was kind of like this ombre, and this isn't very much space to do this, but we're gonna try it. See what happens. I always say if you don't like it, you let it dry, you paint over top of it. It's not that big a deal, it's just paint. So this is what I mean. You can do whatever you want with these kits. You can follow the picture, it's there for your inspiration, or you can do your own thing. It is totally up to you. I'm gonna grab some of this darker teal. So this is not how it is in the picture, but I think it's kind of fun to venture and do something else. Do you like to follow the directions exactly and only do what is in the picture, or do you like to kind of do your own thing? Let me know. So just kind of tapping. I want it to be lighter in the center and darker out towards the edges. I grabbed another teal that's a little bit darker. We're gonna do the very edge with some black. I want to be careful not to pull that black too far in, but I do want a little bit of that black in there for this nice kind of spooky look. There's garbage day around here, so you probably hear the trash truck outside. I'm hoping that they pick up our trash cans. Sometimes they're really weird, and if the lid's not completely closed, they will not pick it up, which drives me insane because I'm like, well, now you just made the situation worse because now we have twice as much garbage and the lid already wouldn't close. So I'm hoping the trash cans were very, very full from all of the wood and stuff that I've been cutting, and so I don't know. We'll see. All right, so I'm just kind of tapping that black back into that teal. And we're gonna pick up some of that lighter teal and come right back around. I need to rinse that out. I felt like I was getting a lot of that black into the center here, which I don't want. Have you done any fun fall things yet this year? I know there's been some festivals and stuff going on locally here. We've had a few days where it felt like fall, and then we've gone right back to summer. I'm like ready for the fall. All right, that's looking okay. I still don't love the transition here around the edge. Probably should have watched how Karen did this. All right, maybe let's stick our arm in the black paint. Let's try a sponge. Oh yeah, there we go. Now that I've got all that paint on there, I can just kind of soften it with the sponge. That's better. All right. I'm gonna pick up just a little more of the teal right here in the center. Sometimes you gotta just keep working it until you get it where you like it. I feel like, especially when I'm teaching classes and stuff, what I see oftentimes is people give up too soon. And then they're like, it's not doing what I want it to do. And I'm like, well, because you just haven't worked, you haven't blended it quite enough. Don't give up. I love that. What do we think? Ooh. All right, very cute. So in the original picture, looks like we have a purple tree. I think we'll go ahead and do that. Maybe, do I have some purple? Got this one. We'll try it. We'll grab this sponge here. I'm gonna put a little white with my purple on the first layer because I know that that paint that I picked up is a little bit thin, and so I know it's not gonna have great coverage the first time. So we're gonna put some white down with the first layer, and then we'll come back and do just another coat of purple on it. That way it just makes the colors brighter. Anytime you have a color that isn't covering very well, a little bit of white mixed in the first coat will help give it just a smidge more coverage. All right, we're gonna do our little moon in a yellow. And of course, yellow is always super translucent, so we're gonna add a little white with it the first coat. Of course, this yellow I picked up is like a multi-surface yellow, so it does have a little more grab to it. I really should use a sponge, but I don't know if I have any more sponges. Let's try this one. All right. there's that guy. Let's do our purple again. It should be pretty dry. I'm gonna leave a little bit of that white in there because I made that teal background. I want this to just kind of be a little bit brighter and pop. I don't want it to be too dark. All right, there's our tree. This is the little band for the witch's hat. You know what we do have? Let's bring this back over here. I do have this metallic purple. Sounds like there's a little bit in there. Might just throw a smidge of that on there. I need to let that dry. Give that a second, and then we'll put a little bit of that. All right, let's do the moon again here. And I am gonna take my sponge and a little bit of white, and I'm just gonna go around kind of the edge of the moon here just to kind of give it a nice little glow. I've had some people ask about like, well, what about the texture that the sponge leaves? And it does leave a little bit of a texture. The trick here is to you're not caking the paint on. So I'm using a very little bit amount of paint at a time. And then when I come back with that second layer, that texture is almost disappearing. It definitely looks different than if you brush it on with a brush because you're not getting little brush strokes. But for little pieces like this, you do get a nice coverage. And there's not a ton of texture there. Guys, hey. Can't be over there. That's too loud. It's too loud. All right, we have our orange things left. And our Happy Halloween, which in the original, it looks like this was purple and this was orange. I'm kind of wondering, we'll do purple. So we'll do the Happy in purple. Go, and then give that a hot second to dry. We need some orange. All right, we need to paint our little pumpkin orange. Add a little white first. And the pumpkin gets the witch hat, so you don't have to worry about that little stem or anything because you're not going to see it because the little witch's hat is going to go over top of that. All right, there's our pumpkin. Let's see. Let's add this metallic purple to our tree. And our witch hat band. And our letters. Okay, and then I'm going to clip this so you can use that makeup sponge over and over and over again. You just clip the end. Put that little piece over there. Sit down, buddy. And then we're going to take our orange and do our letters. You're gonna fall. I'm gonna do a little yellow from the top. So we'll kind of do like a little yellow orange blend here. Good morning, Susan. We'll just come up right up. All right, so there's our Halloween. Boop. Cute. All right, we need to give our pumpkin a second coat. It's almost dry. I've got this orange on this sponge. I think we're just gonna use it. And our letters for October. So our O, our C, and our letter T. We're gonna do those in orange as well. Dropped a guava orange there. Okay, I got it. It's gonna need a second coat. I feel like this pumpkin needs a third coat of orange. I may not have been patient enough to let the first coat dry. All right, let's get the dry this real quick. It's still, you can still see the wood underneath of it, so I want it to just be a little drier. Hey, Betty. All right. If you don't let that first coat of paint dry, your second, third coat of paint really isn't going to make much difference because your underneath paint is still wet. So let it dry or make it dry with a hairdryer or something. You'll have a much better coverage with your second and third coat. Don't be impatient like me. All right, that's looking pretty good. I need to touch this up where I dropped the white. I'm just going to take a little white and just kind of touch that. There we go. All right, and I do want to, well, let's see. Let's grab our distressing crayons. So these are something new that I've been using. They're called distressing crayons. They work really well to add just little bits of things. And I want to make this mummy look kind of more mummy-like. I'm gonna grab a paintbrush. I like to just take my brush and I just kind of brush it across the top of the crayon, and then you can just come right over your piece and brush that on. They blend really well. They are, what's the word? Water soluble, maybe, is the word I'm looking for. Water reactive. So you can take some water and blend them if you need to, like if you get too much. They also wipe off really easily, which I love, versus like using a paint and trying to blend. These work really well. So they're called Tim Holtz Distress Crayons. They come in like 100 different colors. I just grabbed 2 of the cheapest packs on Amazon when I bought them. And they've worked really well. I would love to have all the colors, but I don't feel like I need them all. I feel like the 2 packs that I got are good. All right, so like I just added a little bit of that brown on there, and then I can take a smidge of my paint water. Get that in there? I did. And I can go back over it, and it will kind of blend a little bit more. It will get a little darker. Like there's lots of options there. So you can put it on dry, you can put it on wet, however you want to use it. And you can also just take your fingers and it will kind of like wipe right off. So it's easier, I think, than using like the paint to try to blend in these little spaces. And we can come in and kind of make them a little more white in spots if we need to. I will say that trick with those crayons is less is more. It's just like with paint. Even the one good thing is it is easy to take it back off if you don't love the way it's looking, but you can start with less and then come back and add more. It just adds a cute little touch of something to that. Okay, we've got this one. I want to do a little bit of black around the edge here. So I'm just going to take this brush. I'm just going to come right around that edge. This is our little calendar October 31st piece. Just brush that on. And that may be all of the distressing type look I want to do. All right, let's grab our glue. You know what, I'm just debating whether I want to use that little one or if I want to try to open this. Don't use your teeth. All right, got that open. Let's see if it will come out or if it's all dried up. Almost. So in your kit, you're going to get a tiny bottle of E6000. If you've never used E6000 glue before, it has a long dry time. You do not need very much glue. A little dab will do ya. I feel like this is not open all the way. That works. There we go. All right. So a little bit will do. You don't need very much. And then you've got that long dry time. So you're going to want to let this set for a little bit before you display it. I like to say let it set for 24 hours. Don't pick it up for at least 24 hours. Because what will happen here in about 30-ish minutes, it's going to seem like this glue is dry. Everything's going to seem stuck, but it is not. And I have been known to set things up and then come back and then everything has moved on me. So there's our little mummy guy. Cute. Let's do our little pumpkin. So he gets his little witch hat up here on top. A little band. Okay, and then he gets 2 eyes and a mouth. And he's kind of goofy looking. His eyes are different shapes. So it's just like a goofy little jack-o'-lantern. There he is. We'll come back and do our white highlights and stuff here in a second. Here's our October 31st calendar piece. So on this side here, we're going to put our letters for October. Now, if your glue gets messy like this, or it's like coming out from underneath your letters, you can take an old paintbrush. Don't take one of your good brushes. Take an old brush and just kind of go around and scoop up that extra glue and kind of smooth it out a little bit. When it dries, it is going to be a little shiny, but if you spray your pieces when you're done to kind of like seal them, you're not going to notice it if there's no big globs. The other thing is you could use like a toothpick to put this glue on the back of the smaller pieces, like the letters. That does help keep it from getting quite so messy. All right, there's our number 3 and our number 1. There we go. So there's our little calendar piece. We've got our little, this is the banner that goes on the front of the wagon. So it's gonna say Happy Halloween. So we're gonna put Happy up there and then the Halloween. Right here. Happy Halloween. And then we've got our little haunted house. So we're gonna put the glue around the edge of this frame that goes on our circle. These pieces fit in here really tightly. Okay, you've got a tree, you've got a little house, you have a moon, and then you've got 3 little bats. So you may want to set them in to see where you need to set them before you start gluing, because like the house and the tree are pretty snug together there. All right, there's our house. Here's our little tree. All right, and then we have 3 little bats. So I'm gonna put one kind of on the moon, and we'll do one over here. And it looks like there's only 2 in the picture. Let's put one kind of on the tree. Why not? All right. So there's all of our pieces. Now let's come back and add our little details. I'm gonna take a small brush. I wanna do a little bit of yellow inside of these windows on our house. Now what I could have done, maybe what I should have done, I don't know, I could just paint underneath where this house is with the yellow. It's kind of hard to tell, but this might be easier. It will definitely be faster. I don't need it to be perfect. I just kind of want like a little glow. I need to touch that house up because my yellow got a little crazy there on the edges. There we go. All right. It's not perfect, but it will work. From afar, it looks good. All right, let's grab a tiny brush. We're gonna do some little white highlights. I think this one might work. So I'm just gonna add a few little lines and dots around on my house here. Just kind of gives it a little more character. And we'll do like a couple swoops on our bats and maybe on our moon. So our Tiered Tray Club is a reoccurring monthly subscription club. You can cancel at any time, and our Wagon Club and our Tiered Tray Club. They're monthly reoccurring subscriptions. You can cancel anytime. It's always a surprise what you're going to get. You don't know until you receive your box in the mail or until I go live here on the page and show you what you're going to receive. But they are a fun way to just kind of add to your decor each month. And it's super simple. What I love about it is everything's in the box except for your paintbrushes. Everything's in the box. So all you need is maybe like an hour worth of time, and you can sit down and make something really cute for your holiday decor. You know, I love it because I feel like it gives you something to do for yourself, especially if you are a woman, a mom, any of those things. I feel like sometimes we do so much for other people that we forget to do things for ourselves. So this is a great little way to kind of do something for yourself each month, and you don't have to feel too guilty because it's also something that everyone in the house can enjoy because it's going to be something cute to put up and display. It's our little calendar piece. I don't want to leave out Mr. Mummy, so let's do just a little swipe here on his bandage, and maybe we'll do a couple black swoops. So you can cancel any time that you're just not able to do it financially anymore. You can always cancel. But it's just a fun way to get something to do each month. The kits are exclusive to our Tiered Tray and Wagon Club, so you can't find these kits on our website. You can only get them if you're a member of that club. And then, like I said, of course, you get the 20% discount each month that you can use to buy other kits if you want. So you can have more than one wagon. I have like 2 wagons that set up. And then a lot of times I use these pieces too around on like our coffee bar. We have a little shelf in the bathroom that I will set things on sometimes. So they're really versatile, and you can use them on other things just besides your wagon and your tiered tray. One thing I've been thinking about, and I really want to do to kind of show you how versatile these pieces can be, is these would look really cute on a wreath. So you could tie them to a little wreath and they would look really cute as well. So lots of options, lots of ways to use these pieces. If you're like me, sometimes you want to do a new hobby or project, and you go and you buy all the things, and then by the time you get home from the craft store or you have everything ready, it's like the mood has gone, and now I don't want to do it anymore. So that's the great thing about these boxes, is they're delivered right to your front door. You don't have to worry about going to buy everything. It's going to come straight to your door. Everything's going to be included in the box. So when you're ready, you open the box and you do your little project, and then you're done. There's not going to be a ton of leftover supplies for you to figure out how to store. These pieces store pretty easily. You don't have to get fancy with how to store them. I just put mine in Ziploc bags and drop them down with the rest of my holiday stuff. And then they're there next year when I pull everything out. I've got my little decor all ready to go. All right, there's our little happy Halloween sign. All right, so let's give everything a quick dry, and then I'll kind of show you what it's going to look like in our wagon. Now remember, with that E6000 glue, we want to let it dry. I'm going to leave everything lay flat for 24 hours before I go setting it up. But I'm going to show you real quick what it's going to look like in our wagon, just so you have a general idea. But then I'm going to take them back out and let them lay on my table. So always make sure you let your stuff lay flat, because there's nothing worse than doing all of this work and then coming back and realizing that everything has moved and it's already glued, and so now it's not any good anymore. All right, so this is this month's Wagon kit for September. I will say, if you're a Wagon Club member, please ignore the fact that I put October up here because I don't even know what day of the week it is sometimes, but this is September. I was clearly thinking it's a Halloween kit, it's October. I don't know. And it wasn't until I had all the papers printed and we were stuffing the boxes and my mom looked at me and she goes, "Is this October's box?" And I go, "No, it's September's box." And she goes, "You know this says October." And I'm like, oh. Okay, so I do have a little paper down here in the bottom that I keep in there. It just kind of helps elevate some of the pieces sometimes. There we go. Let's move y'all. There we go. It just helps elevate the pieces a little bit. So we can set these little guys in here. You can also set them outside of your wagons. Cute way to do it. However you want to display them. And then I don't have my little hooks here, but there are little hooks. They're gonna go right here on the front of our wagon, and there's our little wagon for the month of September for Halloween. So I hope you have enjoyed creating this with me. If you have any questions about the Wagon Club, drop them in the comments and let me know. You can click the link. It will take you to where you can join if you would like. Remember, you can cancel at any time. There is no commitment. And we will be back to paint our tiered tray kit. Maybe Friday. I'm not sure. I've got to set up for community days. So I'm not sure if I will go live on Friday, but we might try. But if we don't do the tiered tray kit this week, we will definitely do it next week. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. Go paint something, get creative, and I will talk to y'all real soon. Bye, y'all.